All right, John chapter 9. We're talking about blind man, and we're going to watch some video. It's good video coming up. And Jesus had passed by and saw a man which was blind from his birth. John chapter 9, verse 1. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man, of his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, Neither has this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. Verse 3 again. Jesus answered, Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. Let us pray. Dear Lord, we come to you once again. We already have breathed your presence and the joyful sound of the youth praising you, Lord. Now give me the word I need to preach. Let us have a special time with you. The message we need. Thank you for the wonderful week. Thank you for the great school year to start. Continue to bless us, continue to be with us. Give us a guidance to the young people. Give us wisdom as to talk to the young people. Many things going on in this church, this community, and all over the world. So we look up to you, Lord. Call your name, and asking you your guidance, your healing hand, your protection hand. Lord, help us each morning. Let us remember to see you face to face one day. Until then, guide us and lead us in this time of return. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, Jesus in the mission trip. Okay, Jesus passed by this village and saw the man blind. Later on, the Bible said, beggar. He was blind and begging at the street. And the disciple asked Jesus, why this man is blind? Is he the sinner, or his parents done something wrong? And Jesus said, neither has this man sinned, nor his parents, but the works of God should be made manifest in him. But the works of God manifest in this blind man. As a society, I'm one of the guilty ones. As a society, we see some kids doing something wrong. Then blame on the parents, blame on the society. Some AIDS epidemic came out. It said the sin of the world came upon this age. Because of the lifestyle, because of the behavior. It's easy to point to someone. But Jesus said that is not true. I have a child. She's autistic, and it is hard. When she was young, it is hard to go to the doctor's appointment anywhere. To quietly sit down, it's the hardest thing to do some more. And my wife used to hate to hear the people say, she don't have home training. Why the parents let her run around? Why the parents just stag her to death? Put her into the sins. Harsh water came time after time. But with prayer, with God, Jesus said, God works manifest in blind man. Same thing. I remember one night, my wife had to miss the revival meeting because my daughter has meltdown. We hardly ever missed the revival meeting. She told me, you go ahead and go. I took other kids, went to church. And she said, she had a prayer. She had a prayer with God, the screaming child by beside her. And she told me, for God, how long she was praying. And she was praying so hard, somebody touched her shoulder. That was our daughter. She hugged her and prayed God. Jesus said, God's word manifest in this blind man. So what can God's work manifest in this guy? Verse 4, I must work works of him who sent me, while it is day, the night comes when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. The blind man Peppa Pig. Have you ever watched the TV show? I love that show. Peppa Pig said, I need to go to the eye doctor because I cannot see well when I close my eyes. How good is that? I love that show. They always fell down and started laughing. Oh, I love that show. Jesus said, as long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. But the blind man still exists. So he does. Verse 6. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made a clay of the speak, and anointed his eyes, blind man, with that clay. Time out. Germex. How cool, Jesus? I don't know. But when you start spitting the mud and make the mud clay, and do you think you put on eyes and you said, okay? Oh no, my goodness. Germex. I'll stop. Hello, I'm going to the emergency room. I'll be okay. Think about it. We ridicule something is different. Right here. Does Jesus needed to put the spell on the blood? I don't think so. You know, God is the Word. He can speak unto the blindness and the made sight. No, he did not do. He just spit all over the mud and put it on the eye. Not only that, that did not restore the blind man's sight. Verse 7, and Jesus said, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by the interpretation sent. This water, you have to go there and wash it off. So he went his way therefore, and washed and came seeing. Now put the man crave with the spit on all over, that's one thing. Now this blind man had to walk through the people or whatever, go to this pool of Siloam and to wash it off. And all of a sudden, from the world, he could not see anything. And all of a sudden he started seeing this whole world. Now, today's lesson is, then what? Our neighbors. See the verse 9. The neighbors, therefore, they start talking about him. Verse 8 said, the neighbors, therefore, that which has before had seen him, he was blind, and said, is not the Pisa and the bear? You know what I mean? The people started going to church. Oh, that's great. Praise God. But too many people saying, I know he did that and that. I know she used to. Have you ever heard here? That things is not clear cut. That's what happened right here. Some said, this is he. Others said, he is like him, but he is not that big. Therefore, said they unto him, how are thine eyes opened? And the blind man answered to them, the man that is called Jesus made clay, anointed my eye, and said unto me, go to the pool of Siloam and wash. I went, I washed, I received sight. I went, I washed, I received sight. There is belief, there is action, then the healing of blessing. Now, that should settle everything, but it didn't. So all the Pharisees, who is a Pharisee? Pharisee is the one sitting on a high throne with a great robe. He is a religious person. He knows all the book, word to word. He is the one to conduct the ceremony. Pharisee also asked him, he had received his sight. He said unto them, I put the clay. Whatever you say, I have sight because of this Jesus. I don't know, he disappeared. I don't know where he is. But the one thing, he restored my sight. Verse 16, look at the verse 16. It's a sad verse. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, this blind man is not God. Or this man is not God because he keeps not the Sabbath day. Others said, how can a man that is sinner do such a miracle? And there was a division among them. Jesus healed this blind man on Sabbath day. And the Pharisees said, this is not the man of God. I know it is a good thing to do, but it is in Sabbath day. You will not perform such a thing on Sabbath day. Verse 17, and said unto blind man again, what sayest thou of him that he has opened thine eyes? And the blind man said, he is a prophet. But Jesus did not believe concerning him, and he had been blind and received his sight until they called the parents. They asked parents. Look at what the parents said, verse 20. His parents answered them, we know that this is our son, and he was born blind. Yes, this is my child. Gave the birth. I know he was blind from day one. Verse 21, but by what means he now seeth, we know not. Who has opened his eyes, we know not. He is aged, ask him. He shall speak for himself. Listen, if Jesus asked, the blind man will receive sight. If the blind man understand what Jesus said, and the blind man thought this spattered mud is put on the eyes, it's good for him, this guy knows what he was doing. So the king verse 22. These were spoken to his parents because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. Put out of the synagogue. How sad. How sad. Go down to verse 25. He answered. God answered. Okay. Verse 24. Then again called they the man was blind, said unto him, give God the praise. We know that this man is a sinner. And he answered and said, whether he be the sinner or not, I know not. But I know that whereas I was blind, now I see. O Pharisees, I do not know. He just came up to me and spat on the ground, made mud clay, put on my eyes. And he told me to wash at the pool of Siloam. I did. I received the sight. That's what he said. I do not know what the source is, but I was blind, but now I see. Verse 26. Then said they to him, that, what did he to thee? How opened thine eye? And blind man answered, I have told you already, you did not hear. Wherefore, would he hear it again? Will he also be his disciple? Are you going to be a Jesus disciple? Keep on asking me the question. Verse 28, then they revile him and thou art his disciple, but his Moses' disciple. We know that God spoke unto Moses. As for this fellow, we know not from whence he is. We don't know this guy is a stranger. How sad talking about Jesus. We do not know the stranger. Jesus talked about these people. Men answered and said unto them, why, here is the marvelous thing that you know not whence he is, yet he hath opened my eyes. Verse 31, now we know that God hears not sinners, but if any man, the worshiper of God, does his will, he hears. Blind man is clear-cut, saying, he healed my eyes. It's a God's work. It doesn't matter. He has no license, not ordained. But the Jesus did. Can't you see? Blind man defense is just wonderful thing. That was 31. 31 again. Now we know that God hears not sin. But if any man be the worshiper of God, does his will, him he hears. Since the world began, was it not hard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. See the evidence, what happened? I was blind. Verse 34, they answered and said unto him, thou wast altogether born in sin, dost thou teach us? And they cast him out. Verse 34, they answered, said unto him, thou wast altogether born in sin, dost thou teach us? Too many there in this world. These Pharisees put it on the stamps because this baby was born blind. Yes, he's a sin manifested in his life as a sin. Too many people were saying, got the cancer. What's wrong with him? What did he do? She was suffering disease. What did she do? She knew straight. That's what the Pharisees said. And they cast him out. Then Jesus comes back. Jesus heard that they had cast him out. When he had found him, he said unto him, thou dost believe on the Son of God. Blind man answered and said, Who is he, Lord? I might believe on him. And Jesus said to him, thou hast both seen him, it is he that talked with thee. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he washed him. And for judgment I am come into this world, that they that see not might see, that they which see might be made blind. And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words, and said unto him, Are we blind also? And Jesus said unto them, If ye were blind, ye should have no sin. But now ye say, We see, therefore your sin remains. The blindness cured, open. But Jesus said here, if you are blind, no sin remains. Jesus said at the beginning of the chapter, I am the light of the world. And the blind man, like a people pig, when I close my eye, I cannot see it. Cannot see the light. You know what I mean? If you're blind, there's no way to receive the light. Therefore, there's no sin in man. But you are open and you see the light. I see you, you see me. Then that is cause of the Jesus. And if you deny that presence of Jesus, your sin remains. I'm going to start this video. It's a football. I hope no one's here. We're going to watch a football game. This guy is a center, snapper, long snapper, which is field goal or point after you do snap, not just the snap. It just goes to the 10 feet behind. It's hard to do that. He is special, this football player. Because this football player cannot see. Have you ever heard Jake Olsen? Southern California? USC? What you do? Yeah, you know. Yeah, Pete Carroll called him a long time ago, and he made this last snap. And Pete Carroll got interviewed ESPN, and you remember him, Jake. You can see this story.
South of the LA Coliseum is Huntington Beach, California. This is where Jake Olsen was born on March 26, 1997. When Jake was 8 months old, doctors diagnosed him with retinoblastoma, cancerous tumors in both eyes. Jake would lose his left eye. The doctor was able to save Jake's right eye. That eye showed in his world, including his favorite sport and his favorite team, the USC Trojans.
They're just a great school and they have awesome athletes, so I just started rooting for them like my dad.
But in September of 2009, when he was 12, doctors told Jake the cancer was back again. And this time, the only option was to remove his other eye.
We've lived for 12 years with that possible message. And I would just say there's a certain level of sadness with that.
I was standing there and said, well, Jake, how you doing, buddy? You okay? He goes, yeah, Mom. He goes, you know what? He goes, this is just going to be a new stage in my life.
Just sad, like I won't be able to see them ever again. And just like we fought so hard and yet cancer wins.
Jake's surgery was set for November of 2009. News of his story spread and eventually found its way to then USC head coach Pete Carroll, who wanted to do something for a huge fan.
The first thing was, let's make sure he gets inside and sees everything he wants to see. God bless him, he deserves every bit of it.
Within days of meeting the Trojans, Jake became one of the guys.
I got to sit next to Pete Carroll on the bus, which was awesome. I got to go into the locker room and everyone was partying. I got to see the practices, which was awesome.
Everybody loves you, Jake. We can't wait for you to come back. As soon as you get back, come see us, okay? You promise?
Yep.
On November 15, 2009, Jake underwent successful surgery to remove his right eye. 6 days later, he was here.
Hey, Barkley. Good, how are you?
What's next for you?
I just want to be a normal kid, do what I did, and maybe even more. I got a center for you one time.
Getting back to normal meant doing what he had always done. He continued to snap for his flag football team. And in the fall of 2013, as a junior, Jake decided to try out for his high school team.
We went through a number of drills, and they said, oh my gosh, there's no way this kid is ever going to, learn how to snap.
Truthfully, I really sucked the first time. So the coaches kind of just put me aside, okay, this kid's going to be on our team, but he'll be playing left bench.
He kept practicing all these different drills, and finally, I started seeing some progress and said, oh my goodness.
They learned the ball long snappers, and now I was snapping, and it was evident that I was the best.
Jake had earned the job and would be the long snapper his junior and senior seasons. He graduated with honors in 2015, and there was just one place he wanted to go.
Well, it's always my dream to go to USC.
You look like a football player. How much weight did you put on?
Well, I came in around 185, and I'm probably somewhere around like 235, 240, so it's like 50, 55 pounds.
And you got the guns out. After receiving a scholarship for physically challenged athletes, Jake got a call from then USC head football coach Steve Sarkisian.
Coach Shark called me and said, since you're going to be here, I want to snap, why not snap on the football team? Being told that I would be able to have that experience and that opportunity was something that sometimes I still wake up and can't necessarily believe.
So Jake came in and I'm like, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but we're going to figure it out together. He goes, oh, don't worry, Coach, I've got this.
Jake was part of the team, But after 2 years of countless practices, he never made it onto the field.
It's a competitive game, and I'm a competitor. I like to prove to myself and others that just because I can't see doesn't mean that I'm not going to play football.
September 2nd, opening weekend for USC. It's late in the fourth quarter, and the Trojans are up 48-31, with a little more than 3 minutes to play.
And those of you who have remained here to see this are seeing something special indeed.
Long snapper, number 61, Jake Olsen.
And he will long snap back for this extra point in the college football game. Kid grew up as an SC fan, visiting Trojan practices. The snap is perfect. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Jake Olsen swarmed over by his teammates.
I want just to be an example to others where they can, look at me and then find courage inside themselves to face their fears and face their adversity and go dominate life.
Jacobs. Did you hear what he said? I'm blind, but does not keep away from football game. Keep on playing football. That's what we do. Look, Jesus opened his eyes, but that's just the part of the healing process. Okay, if that is the whole thing Jesus wanted to do, he just went away. Sadly, he had to answer the blind man and said, "What is this guy?" And I don't know. Their life is just a disaster because he was kicked out of the synagogue. Now I can see, but it's just awful. Right? Then Jesus came back to him. What's the question this time? He said, "Do you believe on the Son of God?" Jake Olsen, he's blind, he cannot see. But that's not the disability, that's not the limit. Jake's word. True blindness is the one you cannot see God. Not the physically cannot see, but in the spirit, if you're blind, you are in the destination of hell. And Jesus said, that is the blindness you have to walk. I see the whole things. Jesus asking me, do you believe the Son of God? Let's all stand.